Welcome, everybody. We are back with yet another wonderful scrapbooking card making expert. Alicia, I might get it wrong. We just went through this and I still said it wrong. I'll get there. It's okay. Redshaw from Australia, who's at Sunday, and I was trying to figure out, is it 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. for you?
It's 8 a.m.
Okay. It's always different as to when you change your clocks, and who doesn't change their clocks is different in Australia too. So excellent.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for everybody who's joining us live. We are excited to have someone new. So she's at least been talking to us today, is new to our summit. So we're excited to do that, and hopefully you've had a chance to look at her presentation. And I'm just going to switch our screen a little bit so that you can be the focus. And there we go. How we start is just by, she's putting her headset in, so we'll wait till that's in.
There we go.
There you go.
I think that's better.
That's better. Okay.
You won't get feedback now.
Excellent. How we start is just having you tell us where you are in the world. We kind of hinted at Australia, but which part of Australia? What you do, and how you started in the papercraft industry.
Okay. So my name is Alicia Redshaw. I own Scrapbook Fantasies, and we are in Gladstone, Queensland. So we're on the central Queensland coast. We export coal and alumina and wood chip and a whole heap of things from here. It's a major port. Here Gladstone is. It is cold. We are in the subtropics, but it's not meant to be cold. I should be wearing a t-shirt still, but it is.
So what is cold? What is cold?
Yeah, what's cold?
It's probably Di is on here. I see watching. Di will be able to tell us exactly what the temperature is because she's our weather person at the store. It's probably about 10, 11.
Warm.
That's really cold for here. Like I'm going to say that's really, really
I have
cold.
to say, I will reinforce this. When I lived in Australia and my brother lived in Brisbane, their houses are not designed for cold. So when it is 10, it's a lot colder than when it is 10 here. Because for us, cold is minus 30.
Well,
so
we have tiled and timber floors. We only have carpet in bedrooms. It's about 10, Di says. So it's about 10, and that's pretty cold for here at 8 o'clock in the morning.
It is cold for you guys.
Usually we have 1 week of really cold. We're on like about a week and a half now, and it's not meant to be cold yet.
But you are winter. You are winter.
Yeah.
Are you in winter? Yes, we're getting there. So yeah.
We are in winter now, but we were cold before winter. So it's cold for here. Let's just say that. It is cold for here. We're not used to it.
I will say I was never cold. Like when I lived in Sydney for 2 years, and when it got around 5, 10, it was cold because the houses aren't designed for it. And so you really do feel it.
Well, we're a long way from Sydney. Like we're really long way from Sydney.
So Wendy, it's Celsius. Yeah. So everyone, Celsius.
Oh, Celsius. Yeah, we're Celsius. Sorry. Yeah. Forget about that. I forget about the differences.
That's okay. We live them here in Canada versus the US, so we always are talking differences. So, how did you get into paper crafting?
I've always done some sort of craft. My mum was a working artist, so my mum was a painter, but she also did pottery and all sorts of things. So I've sewed since I was 2. I've done pottery and painting, and I used to make my own Barbie doll clothes when I was a child. My diaries were scrapbooked at school, but I didn't know that that's what I was doing. But my diary was always scrapbooked. I made my own wedding invitations, order of service, the whole box and dice, done all those things. But once we had our first child, now he's 27 at the end of the year, I wanted to scrapbook, and it's kind of a bit poo-pooed by people around me that why would you bother doing that when you do, like just take photos and put them in a photo album and write next to them and then stick stickers in the photo album. And I'm like, I really want to do this. But then I think it was, what was it, 2001 or something? I bought a magazine. It might have been early 2002. Bought a magazine, got really excited, bought some stuff online, did a page, sent it to a magazine, got it published. They asked for more. And then by the end of 2002, I had started Scrapbook Fantasies. So November. It's actually the Thursday, the 22nd of November, 2002 is when I opened Scrapbook Fantasies.
Huh.
Excellent. And what does Scrapbook Fantasies specialize in?
Just be a regular scrapbook shop where we bought product from suppliers and manufacturers and we sold it. But in 2019, we've always dabbled in manufacturing bits and pieces ourselves, like embellishments and a few bits and pieces. At the start, we made templates and different things. But in 2019, we wanted to really future-proof ourselves and we started making like die-cut ephemera. We call them color cuts. We did butterflies at first to trial the market, and they just went nuts at a craft show. And then in early 2020, everything just changed.
Mm-hmm.
Home deliveries, I was teaching all my weekly classes online, and more people, lucky we already had a big email list, more people wanted what we did, and then we just went further. Now we have by the end of 2020, we had our own pattern paper. We had our title cuts, our color cuts, which is our die cut ephemera, and we were doing flare buttons. And now we have a big laser machine called Racel, and we do, this is already painted. Oh, this is not painted. We do chipboard, we do plates, we do tools, which tomorrow I'm sending one of my creative rulers to British Columbia for one of the VIP Fun Bundle members. And yeah, we make book covers, all sorts of stuff.
Excellent.
So we mostly sell our own product, except for like adhesives and cardstock.
Excellent. Give us a little bit about the project that you shared, the Patchwork. Woof.
So this is my page.
Here,
there we go. And it is using my newest collection. Oh, I don't know what happened. It's using my newest collection called Cutest Garden. And this is my family. So this is Milton and myself. So Milton is our oldest. And then this is Amelia Ann, and she is 9. She's the boss. Naomi John, who teaches our mixed media classes and does a lot of manufacturing in the store. This is Noah. He's 17. He's about to finish high school this year. And that's Q, my husband Quentin. And yeah, he packs your orders. But yeah, it says Q's Farm on the paper because I made a typo. I'm good at typos. Typo on the freebie. But yeah, so that's my page. Yeah, it's about matting and yeah, and it's a great scrapbox page actually. I like this kind of page for scrapboxes.
What's a scrap box versus a scrapbook? There you go.
Yeah. Digging into your scrap box, your box of leftovers, and then cutting them up into pieces, and then putting them together.
Okay. Excellent. It's beautiful. My mom was a quilter, so that's a beautiful kind of way of capturing quilting.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit of a segue between scrapbooking and quilting.
Very good. For those in the chat, if you have any questions, let us know. I have to go and look and see other questions, but Tracy, do you have any questions to start off? Yes, Tracy, up there.
Well, you mentioned chipboard, so of course I'm going to talk chipboard because that's my thing.
You love chipboard, don't you?
I do. I admit it. It's just fun. So okay, you're a chipboard. First of all, do you sell to resellers? I'm not going to get all business here, but just to know.
Yes. We are talking to a new store opened not last Sunday, the Sunday before, and she's working on her first order with us. So we do sell to other stores. We don't have many stores we sell to, but we definitely do. And we definitely work in with people. And if you've got a title idea, I try and fit it in with what I'm doing. We do a thing called, here, I've got one. I'm going to reveal it. A Chippy Cuts of the Month Club. Okay. So we do have a lot more chipboard that's out there in the crafty universe that people are using because it goes in our Chippy Cuts of the Month Club, but that doesn't go on sale separately for a while. We let them have that as their special thing. Okay. But yeah, and I see quite a few of them there. I just want to say hello to everybody.
You are
That's on
allowed.
the chat. I was at the start. I was typing replies to everyone, and it's like, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
no, you can't do that. You can say them when that comes through.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote on your video, you and your family are adorable. I think I heard your kitty too. Thank you for the wonderful projects and instructions.
Oh, that's awesome.
You must have got kitty bombed. As they like to say.
That would have probably been, it might have been Missy. She would have been ringing a bell and then talking to me. That would be Missy. She's a little bit obnoxious. She's only got one eye that works, and she's got a fractured skull. Like, she's got an acquired brain injury. So she's a very interesting cat. The other one is old and just whingy. So that's Madeline. But so we've got 2 cats, they're grey tabbies, and then we've got 2 black chickens. They are Kentucky and Fried. Kentucky is a troublemaker and Fried is a follower. And so if there's a chicken in the car, because chicken in the car, quick, we're trying to pack for school and there's a chicken in the car, that's Kentucky. If there's a chicken outside the yard, that's Kentucky. So they free range during the day, and then they go back to bed at night. They let themselves out. And then we've got 2 budgies, and they are Sunny and Sher. And Sher's mean. She's a meanie. She's very young. We had Sunny and Rainbow, so it was Sunshine and Rainbow. Sunny is a boy. And Rainbow was mean as well. She was white, but yeah. So he just has mean wives, so...
we have 2 comments saying, beautiful family, Selfie. I love the paint splatter. I've never thought of splattering on my scrapbook pages like you did with the cards. Thank you for sharing your project.
Yeah. I think we do things a little bit different here in Australia. So some of my friends and customers and that have been watching lots and lots of the videos, and they've loved it because they didn't know about the summit, but they said that, everyone just uses glue and they don't use tape like you do, and they don't do this like we do. And
so what are the things that you do that say we don't do, or others? I'm curious. Like, when you say you don't use tape.
We don't use as much glue. I don't like glue. I don't like getting dirty hands. I'm a germaphobe, so I'm an OCD hand washer, so I don't like glue so much, but I do use glue. It has a place, but we use a lot of tape, like double-sided tape here, which I notice not everyone does. We don't use the ATG runners because it's really hard. It's nearly impossible to get refills here in Australia. I have one in the drawer, but it's been empty for like 15 years or something.
It is very similar in Canada. Although we're close to the States, it's still hard for people to get in Canada, similar to Australia. It's expensive. It's expensive to get the products.
And I notice we probably do a bit more mixed media on just a regular page, like the flicking of the watercolor. And we probably, like, I paint a lot of my chipboard like with watercolor paint, or it's all open slather here. Like, it's and it's hard to explain. Like, a lot of people said that they discovered new ways of doing things, or they remembered ways of doing things that they used to do it back in the day. So
well, it's one of the fun things about this summit. Tracy's responsible for all the amazing people who we bring into this. I do the back end. Tracy does the getting the people. But Tracy loves to bring people in from all different countries, and it's been important to me when I approach.
She's asked me a few times, like twice last year. And I just went, I don't know if I've got time. Yeah, I'm glad I did it. I should have done it last year. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I think Rosie said Tracy, you would love our chipboard. Our chipboard's nice. It's recycled. Like, so it's recycled. It's acid free and lignin free, but it is recycled material we use. And we buy the material from an Australian family owned business, and we use solar power to cut it. So Rossell runs on solar. We own our building. Well, the bank owns our building.
I like
that. We have solar on our building, and we only use our laser cutter during daylight hours. So we try and make our chipboard so it's got a very low carbon footprint.
Okay.
So and we're very I don't know if I have any here. Okay. Oh, yep, I do. We have, so in the gaps, we always cut. That's why we do little things like these little flowers and little bumblebees and things, because we put them in the gaps. There's no wasted space on a sheet.
Okay.
What's your most popular product or theme?
It's usually whatever we've just released or I've taught with, which is really shocking. I know. I can tell you actually what's our most popular chipboard. Let's have a look. Oh, you're going to come and say hello? This is Amelia Ann. She is fresh out of bed. She's meant to be going with the grandparents in like a few minutes.
I was just asking to go back to bed.
Going to say hello?
It does look like she's fresh out of bed, so there you go.
Come on.
You can't go back to bed.
Hello,
Meanwhile,
everyone.
we just had supper.
You just had supper.
Well, it's true.
You know, she. I think she's going to try and go back to bed. I think the grandparents are here in like, they're here in 40 minutes. So grandparents picking
She
her up.
gets 20 more minutes of sleep. Or...
Yeah. Family is everything is our most popular chipboard title. It's family is everything. It's out of white chipboard. We don't do a lot in white because the white is actually, it's actually got a cotton content. So it's a pure white and it's got a lot of cotton in it and it's a bit of a bugger to cut. So I don't know if that's the right terminology for you guys. I'm not sure. It's a bit difficult to cut. We have a lot of outtakes and a lot of we do a lot of freebies. So freebies might be there might a little nick in it, or it might have a little bit of char around the edge, or might be a typo in one part of the pack, or we always do things. Or I print something and it's the wrong color. What's this say? I think it's very interesting to learn about the differences in product availability. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. We do not get everything all over the world.
And that is why we started doing our own stuff. Like, that's why we went to our own pattern paper. I just couldn't get enough of a pattern paper to do a retreat. Like, so when we used to do destination retreats, so minimum number was 54. I don't want to do that again. Teaching 54 people face-to-face all at once can be quite difficult. It's a bit of a rabble. And destination retreats, you really only get to do one huge one a year because they're a lot of work. We loaded the shop in a truck and it takes ages to put it all back together. Or a couple of months actually sometimes when you're on your own. But now we do 4 in-store or in-person retreats in our store a year because we have a better building. We have a kitchen, we have a bathroom, we have lots of facilities. Like, we have the facilities in our store and it's a huge store. But
so Tracy, on our bucket list is to go to one of her retreats, because I know where she lives and that'd be a really fun retreat to go to.
Yeah, you can always do one of our virtual retreats.
But it would be going to where you live would be the advantage of the bucket retreats. It's beautiful there. So
it is lovely. It is really nice here. It is actually quite nice here. And it seems like it wouldn't because it's industrial, because we export coal and alumina, all sorts of things we export out of here. People think, it's just going to be a dirty industrial city, but it's not. It's really nice and clean and it's lovely and beautiful blue water and fishing and everything. I'm down the bottom of Australia. Oh, yeah. Mel is down in Tasmania.
So, I mean, places, not only do they, because I lived in Australia for 2 years, not only do you struggle, but you struggle the more remote you get. So if you're in Tasmania, it's going to be even harder. Tasmania is an island off of Australia, if you don't know this. It's not hugely populated, and therefore I have a client who's from Tasmania, and just getting good internet can be a challenge for them someday.
It is really cold in Tasmania. They are close to the Arctic. It is cold in Tasmania. But
in Tasmania these days today.
Our virtual retreats, because in 2020 we had to start doing our retreats virtually, I was trying to get enough paper and I would order it and I wouldn't get it, or it'd arrive months later and then I'd be having to put it on discount. And so when we started at the end of 2019 with making our own product and having our own brand, like all our own branded product, pattern paper was on the 5-year plan. By the end of, by September 2020, we were releasing our first pattern paper collection. So our pattern paper is actually printed in Queensland, in Brisbane, for us. And and that's why we went into our own stuff, because it was just so hard to get enough.
And that's
enough paper.
often the reason people go in business is, I don't know if Debbie's still on here. I'd love to know. Debbie's in Texas and they're in a heat wave. So we can compare your temperatures if Debbie's still there.
Yeah.
They were like at plus 100 Fahrenheit, which would be like 30, 40 Celsius. So
yeah, well, we usually in summer, we hit around the 40.
yeah,
Up.
that's where they are now.
Bad day is around the 40, 41. It used to be when it hit 40, the kids were sent home from school, but now all of our schools are completely air conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So they do inside play when it hits 40 now.
Yeah, makes sense.
At our schools here.
Do you ever get time to craft for pleasure, or or is your business doing all of what you do these days?
Well, I do teach online. I love Alicia's pattern paper says, Mel. Oh, there you go. I do teach, like, this is what I taught this week. I do teach at least 3 classes a week. I teach 2 scrapbooking and 1 card making class each week. So that's what I did Wednesday night. That's what I did Tuesday morning. And a lot of the ladies, like, so that's in our June class group. So we do a card a week and a page a week in each month's group. And that's what the VIPs got, actually, was a June membership, class membership.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's excellent.
I scrapbook what I want. There's no plan. So you'll turn up to the class not knowing. You might know what I'm going to use. Like they knew if they bought a kit, they had their Super Fun Time kit and they knew that it was Super Fun Time pattern paper and I was going to use those chipboard titles. But no one, including myself, has any idea what I'm going to do because I create better on the fly. I think it's better when it's organic and yeah, I like that. It means that is my creative. Yeah, that's my creative time is when I'm doing a class. And I do waffle. And anyone that's watched the videos will know I waffle too much. This is Friday night was a mini book, actually. I did pre-plan some of this. I had the measurements planned out for this. It's a puppy mini book for anyone that's got a puppy.
Tina says you never stop. You're just amazing. And the free classes you do is amazing. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's thousands of free classes. And Monday nights, my 23-year-old Naomi John, she does a mixed media class in our Creative Family group on Facebook. So she's pretty awesome as well. She's very good.
Very nice.
Any questions, particular questions that you have about Alicia? Now I can't even say any name right now.
Lisa's, come on.
Elise. I should know. This is my niece's name. I should be able to say it. It's just like, okay. Any questions you have particularly on her project? Scrapbooking Fantasies monthly kits and classes are fantastic value and so much fun. So do you you do your kits and ship them internationally, or is it primarily Australia?
Yep. So one of our customers, Cheryl in the US, she has I think she's done 2 of our virtual retreats this year. Cheryl actually watched the class already and has already sent us a message that she loved it. And we have this coming Friday that's on its way. We start our Boho Beauty virtual retreat. So it's a new paper range and embellishments and everything. And Catherine in the US is doing it. So, yeah, we can actually get their kits to them in the US quicker sometimes than we can get them to Victoria and Tasmania.
Sad, isn't it? Sad, but true.
It's really terrible. Really, really terrible. How do you find working as a family? Oh, it's pretty good, actually. I get to see them. We get on well. Quentin and I have worked together before, so we do work very well together. We used to own a cherry picker hire company, and we had 2 silent partners, but they took the company over, so we don't have that company anymore. But yeah, so it is pretty good working together. It means our kids learn a lot about retail, and customer service is a really big thing. Like, we're really huge on customer service. And yeah, so at the age of 11, they start working in earnest. They don't always get paid. Some have been paid, and that's why others don't. He knows who he is. But yes, so our oldest son works in marketing and digital for some pretty big companies. He's just moved from one massive international company that's based out of, like, it's a Brisbane company, but they're worldwide, to an Australian company, and they're a restaurant company he's with now, high-end restaurants. And he's all about customer service. But the things he takes to it is like is online stores because he's done that before, and retail software. He knows FPOS machines inside and out. And it's all stuff he's learned in the store, and then he's been able to build on with his own education and that. So there you go. Tina's actually on a sheep station. You know, you talk about sheep stations. Well, we talk about sheep stations here. It's like
to go find this lamb, so we'll catch you later. There you go.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're lambing down at Tina's place. So they're in South Australia, and they've got lots of sheep.
That's what she said. She's got to go find the lamb, so they must be missing somewhere. There you go.
Yeah. So they just find somewhere to have the lambs in a paddock, and you've got to go and find them. Or the baby lambs just run off and they just wander.
I have cousins who are cattle farmers, so similar thing. Love watching your live class. I feel like I know all your family, and the banter is great and makes you feel like you're actually there. It's great. So that's wonderful feedback.
There you go. Oh, that's Rosie. Rosie watches classes.
So where people can, like I said, they can find you on Facebook. They can go to your website. What was your freebie that you offered?
Oh, so our freebie is this. And yes, there is a spelling mistake in there. So it's a downloadable cutout sheet. Like you can cut out the words. So I have used the words and the stars on my page. You can see. There is a spelling mistake. So what I'm going to do is after this, I'm going to go and fix the spelling mistake. I've put relief, not relief. It's in there twice as well. Thank you, Jan, so much, because I didn't pick it, and plenty of people have used. I've actually seen people have used it already, and no one has found it yet. But we found it now.
Proves the thing that we don't actually see the spelling of the word. We see the beginning and the end, and we know what's supposed to be.
So I'm going to fix that and fix it on the service. So if you want to re-download it, everyone's welcome to re-download it. There's also a 20% off our products voucher. So it's not, you won't get 20% off adhesives or our tools like our rulers and our big thick plastic templates, but everything else like stencils, chipboard, it's on chipboard. But yeah,
it's chipboard.
Tracy's chipboard on chipboard. There you go.
But yeah, so it's 20% off, and our VIP gift was 30% off. So you could use both. You could use a 20 and a 30.
There you go. VIP.
That's interesting.
So if you haven't bought the VIP, there's a reason alone. If you're a fan, there's a reason alone to buy the VIP, because you'll get 20% off in I was looking for the name of your store and it's disappeared. So there you go.
Scrapbook Fantasies.
I have the thing over it. I'm like, I know this. In your store, plus the 20% on the freebie. So that's a great deal. Plus there's tons of other coupons, worksheets.
There are a lot of
Debbie
things
has Debbie, who's in here, Debbie J, has one of her courses that she's like, it's too much. I shouldn't have given it away given it to the VIP. So some of the VIP bonuses are equal to about $1,000. And so you just have to claim one or two to get the price of the
membership back.
Of the membership. Plus, you also get all the presentations to watch for the next year at least. And so you can go back and watch them, plus all the VIP bonuses. So if you're joining the summit late, it's a great way to catch up. We've had a few people go, well, I missed day one stuff. Well, that's how you get day one stuff.
A lot of people found that it was a lot to watch. Yep. So it was a lot to watch. So having the VIP, they could just watch it over.
Exactly. Exactly. You've got time.
You have time and you can watch it over again.
There's Debbie.
Yeah. There's
she hopes people have fun with them.
Yeah. So she has there's a couple of great things in the VIP. So you just need one or two. But it's also, if you're going to make an order from your store, buy the VIP, right? It's one of those, becomes a no-brainer. So the VIP is available at until the summit ends, until Wednesday probably, and then it goes to full price.
Yeah.
So if you want to get it before then, go for it.
And we do shipping, like our shipping. So we have flat rate shipping to the US, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK. Everywhere else, we just charge you the shipping afterwards. Like you just put it through. But we do have flat rate to those countries, and we actually subsidize the shipping. So you've got me on chipboard now. I said chipping. Yeah, we do pay part of the shipping so that it gets, so it gets to you. Sometimes we if it's not too much more, we'll express it. Like Catherine will notice that she buys on a regular basis, and a few other ladies that buy in the US on a regular basis that will express their orders whenever we can. Like if it's only going to be a couple of extra dollars, we just go, oh, yep, let's just shove some express on that. So
that's very generous of you, because
Yes.
shipping can be such a, I know as Canadians, we similar to Australians, everything has to be shipped, and then we have to deal with the exchange rate.
it's the freight.
Yeah.
It's the freight. And a lot of suppliers don't, like from a store perspective, don't do like decent freight. Like, you know, like I have one supplier and I just like to order more. And then if I order, like they have a minimum you've got to order to get free freight. But once I get over $1,000, they go, oh no, you've got to pay freight now because it's too many boxes. And I'm like, but I'm doing a bigger order.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't win either way.
No, they penalize me. So I've just got to do little orders, and then it's a pain in the neck. Like I've got to remember to order again in a couple of days.
That makes no sense, but not all of this makes sense. What's your favorite thing to make? Are you a scrapbooker at heart or a card maker at heart, or it's just like you said, what comes to mind?
Favorite of scrapbooking or card making, or I've been making a few books lately because I like them. Maybe a scrapbooker at heart, but I make my cards like a scrapbooker. Like I'm going to say when I make my cards, they're like little scrapbook pages. Does that make sense? Like I don't stamp on my cards or anything anymore. Okay. I don't manufacture stamps or cutting dies, so I don't use them anymore. So, and I'm a bit lazy. I won't reach for them. They're not, if something's not in easy reach, I'm just not going to use it. If it's not like, if I just can't grab it and use it, I'm just not going to use it. But probably, scrapbooking, and my cards are kind of like little scrapbook pages.
I like that though, because that's I like that because I mean, you definitely, like, part of our aim is to bring in both scrapbookers and paper crafters as whole, but to get people to see that you can do both techniques in both ways. You can use scrapbooking techniques on a card, and you could card making techniques on the scrapbook.
Techniques on a page, yeah.
And so it's really about learning the techniques or getting inspired, because it would be really cool to see a little quilting card, and maybe you did that as part of your demo.
Yeah, I did that recently.
Did you?
I did a class, Yeah, we did an inchy card, like we did a little patchwork card recently. Yeah, and it was a tropical theme because it was starting to get cool and we needed to get tropical. Do I use any cutting machines? Oh, there's a question there. Do I use any cutting machines? Personally, I don't anymore. My die cutting machine is sitting under the desk, and behind that grey curtain is the top of the shelf where all my cutting dies are. And that's just a place for the cats to sleep in the sun, the window. But in our store, we have Rossell. She's a laser machine, but we have a massive big bank of cameo machines. We have 8 silhouette machines in our store, and that we use. So I do have those. And then we have a series of different kinds of printers. We have one special one for vellum, and then we have a pigment printer. She's huge. She's new. Her predecessor died the week before Christmas, and it was like someone had stolen our birthday. So I
love how you personalize your machines and call her a she. So there you
yes, her name is Princess P because she's a pigment printer, so her name is Princess P. And Brother manufactures the one we use for vellum, like our special vellum printer is manufactured by Brother, so Quentin calls him Bro. So he's Bro.
Oh my God.
We do have another one that used to do our rice papers, and it is exceptional quality, but it loves to chew stuff up. So it's just like that horrible printer that's out in the hallway. That's what it's called currently. It's like, don't even turn it on. I don't even know if it's got toner in it or anything or ink.
Wow.
Quentin prints off his phone on it. So it's an extremely expensive printer to run. Each page costs a fortune, but it's terrible. But our beautiful new pigment printer, she does the most beautiful rice paper. Doesn't run, doesn't crack, she's beautiful.
So are you designing your own rice paper, you mean?
Yeah, we do our own rice paper.
Well. My goodness, okay.
I'm going to show you a sneaky peek of a prototype.
Oh, there you go.
So this is a sneak peek of a prototype. What I'm working on. I'm using some different software.
Okay.
So if you watch Naomi John's classes, she uses a lot of our rice paper. It is like mulberry silk paper, but it's made in Europe. The base paper is manufactured in Europe.
Okay.
But yeah, we do rice papers. Yeah, we do them a lot. Look, Mel says it was a new product to her this year, rice paper, because she hadn't used it before.
How do you like to adhere your rice paper? I always like to know there's a few different ways, and I like to know what, especially if you're making it.
So we use matte gel,
Okay.
gel medium matte. So Montmart's a Brisbane brand, Queensland brand. But yeah, we use that. You can use clear gesso as well, but we use that and the paintbrushes that we were born with. Fingers.
People love that you name your machines. They love
Oh
that you
yes,
name them.
so our silhouette cameos are Charles. Charles doesn't work very well. He's our original. He's really old and decrepit. And then there's Camilla. See if you can come up with a theme. Then there's Camilla and Charlotte, Carlos, Caroline, Clementine, Kate,
Yeah.
Kate with a C, and
Princess P.
no, there's another cameo that starts with a C. I can't remember her name. Oh my god,
That middle child probably you can't remember, right?
she's one of the 4. We bought 4 machines, and one of them would only cut one product, wouldn't cut other things. I originally bought Charles to do some t-shirts for my kids.
Okay.
Naomi John made 5 t-shirts for a boyfriend at the time, and I've done a dress and a shirt for Amelia Ann, and we've done a couple of work shirts, but that's all we've done with vinyl. Everything else is paper, craft stuff, all that. But yes, we've named them all. You've got to identify them in the system. Like when you're running 8 machines, like we run them off one computer all at once on business software, and they're in this big tower bank thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to identify them in the computer and on the machine. So we just named them, and they're royal names. Obviously, you got Charles, Camilla, Kate, Carlos.
It's much
Charlotte's
easier.
the other one. I forgot
Charlotte.
Charlotte. She wasn't one of the 4. She was number 3.
There you go. It's easier to remember too, and have a lot more fun with it. So
It is, and they're employees, kind of like, or they're just part of the family. They work hard. Rochelle, she works really hard, like our laser machine, and it's laser spelled backwards. That's where we got Rochelle from. Yeah.
Yes, Sandy, it's a lot easier than using IP addresses. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
or
Sandy.
brand names like brand XYZ. So
There would be a riot in the workshop at the back of the store, like it's at the back part of our store. There would be a riot if they had to use IP addresses, because they would send it to the wrong IP address, and then there would be arguments. And yeah, I'm not inflicting that upon my family.
excellent.
Very good.
Quentin's not IT friendly, as yesterday it's Pride Week here. So we have a rainbow, and it's made up of pieces of cardstock with what Pride means to our customers. And they came and did the judging yesterday, and the guy's taking the photo of our glass doors, and Quentin's going, who thinks he's not IT friendly and he knows nothing about IT, he's going, oh, if you do this mode and this mode on your phone, and you do that and that, you'll get a better shot. And that's like, yep, he knows nothing about technology, doesn't he? He knows heaps about technology, just thinks he doesn't.
We always compare ourselves with what we want to be, not who we are, right? So we think more, and we go like, I know nothing.
He's pretty good. He does a lot of our Facebook posts and gets it out there, and he's in a lot of groups. He gets invited into scrapbooking groups because he shares.
Now for the chippy post.
So the chippy post with the chippy song.
Yes.
I don't know if everyone saw his post yesterday that had a chippy song on chippy cuts.
Oh, goodness.
You need to find it.
It's Pride Month.
Oh, it's Pride Month in the US as well. There you go.
I don't think it's here, but I can't remember. I did once do Sydney Pride. That's an experience. If you ever in Sydney, Australia during Pride Month, that is an experience.
Yeah, we always want to do the Mardi Gras in Sydney, so we want to do that with our kids.
I have never been in a crowd more dense than I have at that Mardi Gras in Sydney. It's like It was like, I can't move. I can't even scratch my nose if I wanted to. It was that
Yeah.
dense.
The big kids want to wait till Amelia's a bit bigger, so it's not as easy to lose her. Like, she's
Absolutely.
so small. We just don't want to lose her in the crowd or lose her at the events.
I think that is a really good thing. So for those who don't know, who aren't Australian, Sydney has this huge Mardi Gras for Pride Month. And what happens is it's a nighttime one too. When people start lining
Uh-oh.
up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and they come with their little milk crates and there's behind them, and then the next people bring ladders, and they stand on the ladders so they can see over the crowd of the people who are in front of them. It just starts going and going. It's crazy.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge.
It is
People are
huge.
there. People are there. Like,
I've never, and I've been in a lot of crowds. I've never been in a crowd that dense where I'm like, I think I'm gonna like hold on to the guy in front of me who was a friend. And it's like, okay, let's get out of here. So it's
not as dense now, like because a lot of people, like, it's live streamed all over the country on multiple channels, so it's not as loud.
I would have been there in like 2001.
Oh, look, their Pride Parade was today in Washington, D.C. There you go.
Ours goes all over the summer, so I don't even actually know, because I guess because we're cold in the winter, our Pride kind of goes all summer long. So, excellent. Well, thank you so much for bringing your joy and your sense of fun and your sense of mischievousness, I would say.
The waffle,
the mischievousness. We love mischievousness. We love that kind of thing. Thank you so much. We have another call in like 20 minutes, so thanks so much for joining.
You guys will need to go and rest your voices.
She does.
I do. I talk more. Extrovert, introvert. She's more witty though. Tracy's much more witty than I am. So
every now and then I comment.
She's definitely more witty than I am, but I'm more the talker. So there you go. That's why we make a good team. I'm the techie talker, and she's finds all the great people. So it works really good.
Yep. It's a good lineup. There you go. Love you, Elisa, says Wendy. And there's Jacqueline sending me hearts. Jacqueline's up in Mackay. She's it's a little cool in Mackay. It's actually been late in the year up in Mackay. She's probably about 5.5 hour drive from us, Jacqueline.
Okay. So Deirdre says she loves your stuff. He's gonna get there you go.
Yep.
I'm so grateful for finding the Redshaw family and their beautiful shop of happiness. What a nice name. What a nice comment. The beautiful shop
Dee and her family came up from the Gold Coast last year for one of our retreats. So she came to retreat, and her husband and son went out fishing, and they were coming for 7 days, and they were coming for like 6, and they stayed for 10. So they stayed on extra in Gladstone. They loved it, and we loved having them up here with us. Well,
people are loving this too. So thank you. Glad that you said yes.
Yes,
I'll
be back.
You said let's come back. We'll be doing another one in the fall, in the spring. All depends on where you live, but in November, November-ish, October, November. The first time I ever landed in Australia was November 16th, because that was my dad's birthday, and I remember flying in and seeing the jacaranda trees, which are these beautiful lilac trees that would be akin to an apple tree here, but they're just
and they sort of like fell over.
I've never seen a jacaranda tree before, and that was like, wow, what are these pops of purple and everything, and those flying in. So
you need to go to Toowoomba in spring, because Toowoomba have a carnival of flowers in September. Then you'll see jacaranda trees in their really truly beautiful state. It's Toowoomba for the carnival of flowers.
Like our cherry blossoms here. Like, people really go to the cherry blossoms, but we don't have jacaranda trees in North America at all that I'm aware of. I shouldn't say we don't, but I'm not aware of any. But yeah, they were gorgeous. So
probably be a little chilly.
Southern in Florida where Debbie lives, it would probably work. They would probably be okay. I don't know. So thank you so much for joining us. Love your energy. Love you being here.
Thank you.
One more interview for those who want to, and for those who are here, if you want to buy from our shop, look at the non-VIP, you get 20% off. Go to the VIP, you get 30% off. Get both, you get 20 and 30% off. So you can
not off the one sale, like you can't add it up.
It's not 50,
but you could buy some things at 20 and some at 30, and then you can work out which things
so
you want.
They don't go on top of each other, but it's 2 great times to make an offer to buy, right? So if you see stuff you like on there, if you're a VIP, make sure you use the coupon. I don't remember if you had an expiry date on your coupon, did you?
I think it's like 30th of June. It's 30th of June for the discount coupons. The download freebie will stay there.
Okay.
And they can access, and VIPs get the June class group subscription. So they've
Right.
got the whole of June, and that stays there forever. So they can just access that anytime. And if I don't let them in straight away into that group, they just need to send me a message and I'll let them in, because it just means I missed the notification.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your generosity, and your spirit is lovely. So thank you for saying yes to us, and we look forward to having you next time as well.
Cool.
Thank you
Thanks,
very,
everyone.
very much.
Back in 15 minutes with Pam.
Yes.
There you go.
Have a
Cool.
wonderful
See you
day.
later. Thank you.
Bye.